Morning all, and welcome back to the channel. Interesting day today. A few things floating through my head. So this is a new introduction to an old video because I've been editing the latest video of the stereo install and it's been quite cold, as some of you will have noticed. Probably colder in some areas than others. And I've had a little space heater running, and at first I thought it won't be too bad, you know, you can edit it out, but I can't say I'm that happy with it. So here we are, we're doing it again. What are we up to today? Right, there's a few things to do. First thing is we did talk about running a test through the stereo. A few little caveats, like I've said, the GoPros that I use to record all this content only record in mono, so you're not going to get much of a stereo effect. And then also I did have the space heater running when I did the test. So I may try and do another test without the space heater just to sort of cover that off. But that's the first thing we're going to jump into. And then from there we're going to go in and we start cleaning up a lot of the woodwork, so screwing it down and getting it all finalized. And yeah, hopefully we'll get that video out. So sit back and enjoy the content to come. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Just to go back, what I've done is the crossover, the pass on this amplifier, which is running the speakers, is at about 120 hertz. The bass goes a little bit up past there, so it'll carry some of that weight as well, but I think at the moment they seem to be working quite well. Where I need to probably play with a whole bunch of different sounds to fine-tune that, but obviously some of that stuff is copyright material, so I can't play that at the same time as I'm broadcasting to you. So we'll have a little bit of a play with that. But the other thing, next thing I want to do to show you guys is we're going to put the top back in, which means I'm going to remove this speaker panel out and yeah, see if that fits in, see if those holes sit nicely over there, and then see what it looks like fitted in. Remembering that obviously once it's in, there'll be no more tuning amplifiers because I won't be able to get to them anymore, unless the other option is that I do, you know, cut a slot in here or something like that, so that I can look in and make some adjustments. I could do another one over there. I could cut a slot in the side there and try and reach some of those controls as well. Problem is the controls also go right across that back partition there, so that might make it a little bit interesting trying to get to those, but we'll see. We'll have a think about it, because I'm gonna, you know, it's not something I really need to get into once it's all set up, and I have done some pre-checks already and I'm fairly happy with it. There was just I just made that other adjustment just now to sort that out, but like I said, we're going to get that in because I want to get this in, get the rear done as well, so that you know, most of the heavy lifting and heavy work is done, and then we can go from there. But I just mentioned some comments I received on the last video. Thank you, Tom. The idea of fiberglassing around the side here, which is, yeah, great idea. Like I mentioned in the comment back to you, it's not something I've done before, fiberglass, but one thing I am considering, and again, love to hear your thoughts on this, is obviously the side panels, I have no major intention of putting them back in, and if I do pull those out, then again, they're kind of be this massive hunk of plastic outside that really just is just hiding space that could be used. Excuse me. So what I'm thinking, though, I could use possibly that plastic as a bit of a mold to make something up. I will probably still keep this woodwork just because it gives the speaker a bit more strength to hold on to, and also because it's obviously round on a 6x9, but you know, possibly we could end up cutting it down a bit again, you know, cutting it down a bit so that we could maybe round something off a little bit here. I don't see the, you know, at first I was thinking we could put like a ledge up here and have it come in and join this. I could maybe have something flexible that clips onto there and have a piece of fabric that comes down on here. There's many different options, I guess, but once we get the votes in and decide on what's happening with those metal brackets, once we know that, then obviously it'll be a little bit easier to work out what we do with the rest of it. But certainly having a nice clean panel all the way down the side is going to look a lot nicer, and then it's just a matter of how does it tuck up there. And I think that's why if we use the actual side panel from the Mini, then I can kind of use parts of that to get an idea of how to get some sort of shape. But certainly I might have to investigate someone who's got skills in the area to give me a hand, because it'll be all pretty much guesswork for me, to be honest. Right, let's carry on. Right, now that we've got the front sitting in, we're going to try and work out how this back is going to go. A few things that need to still be sorted out here. Obviously it'll sit on all these cables, so I need to move these out the way, work out how that's going to go. I think the idea was to tuck it up underneath this piece here. We'll see how this bit sits. It's not going to sit perfectly straight at the moment, but just want to see what I need to fit in. We've got studs here that I need to cover up, hide on this left side. Might just sort of put that, or what I might do is just put it in when it's close and ready, and then just give it a tap, find out where they are, drill a bit of a hole in the bottom so it can just sit down over the top of it. Help to locate it, but we've got a piece ready. The next question is going to be, can I get it in? Let's see, here we go here, get that there. Be a few things that'll be in the way. Yes, it's not going to go much further than that at the moment. So, this is all good. We need to just consider, obviously there's this edge here now that's in the way. So I'm going to have to work out if I can take it back a bit so that it sits down. It should be, I mean the piece was the same, it was all one piece, so it should be the same width there, which is all good. I'm just checking what cables were squishing under here. A few of those were squishing the better. Get that out the way there. Get that out the way there. Okay, that's sitting. There we go. Right, measurement time. So that means time lapse, because I've got to go and get a tape measure, work out how far we've got to go into here. I'm probably going to have to work out what this shape is here so I can cut it into here properly. That's going to require a bit of patience on my part. Never a good thing to try and find a bit of patience. But anyway, that's what has to be done. Okay, quick catch up, where are we at? So we've got this fitting in. It's I'll probably cut off a little bit too much here. There's a bit of a gap, but you know, there's still tidying up to be done, so you know, I'm not going to get too worried about it at this point in time. We've got slots for the cables to pop up. Again, so all this has got to be covered at some point. These cables, like I've said before, when we pull this out, yeah, probably going to do it. That'll tuck way further in. It may be able to, may have to nick this end bit off, I don't know, see if we can push it in, but we'll see. Next thing, we want to put little lids in here, so we've got to cut slots in here. My initial view was to cut it from the back here and around like this. The reason I'm thinking of doing it differently is because of strength and also what's down under here. But it's something I need to think about a little bit, which I'm trying to do now, because if I've got to cut in like this, then cutting into this and just having a fine slot to cut into and cut along and then to kind of go around a nice edge is going to be difficult, should we say. And I want it to look as neat as possible on the top. It doesn't have to be perfect, but obviously this is what people will see, and the neater the better, to be fair. So that's why, to be honest, coming from the back here was going to be better, because it's just cut straight in, slight curve, straight along, curve, straight along, and same all the way along. I did come up with a way of doing this, but the more I think about it, it's going to get really hard, because depending on how much of a curve I put on here, you know, getting a jigsaw around a tight curve is not easy, and you're definitely not going to put straight corners in. So we may have to go back to the idea of cutting it from the back. Okay, right. You don't want to sit here and watch me think. We'll go back onto time lapse. I'm going to take this back out. I'm going to take it back over onto the bench and just do up some measurements. We'll have a look at what it looks like underneath here. These cables let go. So, you know, what I'm trying to do actually, yeah, there's a light over there. Sorry, I was going to put the camera here. It's just a matter of, you know, when I do take this out, what are you going to see here? I might, how's it going to be supported? All sorts of things, like how's this back door get supported and all that sort of thing. You know, we can put a piece in here, little piece in here, another piece here. Anyway, let's head over and have a look. now, so wrap up for the day. I'm very happy with that. It's not too bad. Made a slight mistake near the end, the last cut down here, but it's not bad enough for it to be visible and terrible. So looking good. Obviously we've cut the two outside. We'll cut the centre one possibly tomorrow, and then it'll be fitting it down. Now obviously on the sides there is nothing. I'm not screwing into the metalwork. I arguably could do something, but we'll have to work something out, what we do with there's something on the ends here, but just to make sure that nothing moves around there. But we'll see, because obviously there's still all the cabling I need to manage up and underneath there, so nothing's being crushed. Yeah, pretty happy. Next thing is to work out how these things will be, how I'll be able to lift them up. I did get these quick release connectors. See if I can quickly pull one out. Hold a second. Might just be able to see it through there, hopefully. A little bit hard, but so you've got this rod and a little ball, and that goes into this clip here, quick release style. So you push that, it'll pop up slightly. So we've got to see how that will work, whether I need to put a hole on it or something, just to be able to lift it up with your finger or something like that. It's nice not having to put too many extra holes and things, so we'll see how that goes. I need to check the holes I drilled in the side. I think they're pretty much going, yeah, those are pretty good, but again, how far they've got to go I don't know, because again got to be careful what I'm pushing on here, wires, etc. But we'll put maybe a little panel under here that'll come forward. We'll stick that onto it. Right, so the idea is this might sit down here somewhere. We've got to work out how far, and obviously this just comes up and clips into there, and that pops up. You push that, see it pops up slightly. Good thing is that means this will be down out the way here, somewhere here. We'll work out where it's going to go. Now I've only got two of these. I'll have to buy some more for the other one over here. Probably one might be enough for these. I think two for this other one, so another two of these. We'll see if that works or not. It may work, it may be alright. It will be something catching in here, but that's right. We can still get in here. We can stick our stuff in. Like I said, everything's a bit tight at the moment because I haven't managed. We'll have to trim a little bit of this, because obviously as you pick it up, I need to also going to have to put something in here, because I don't want, in a crash again, this bit just to flap open. So we've got to work out. I don't want a hinge, because putting something on the surface, I want to keep a flat surface. So what we could do is just drill some holes in here or something down low and run some dowels on it, something like that, or we work some form of catch from here down onto this, so that we can that will just sort of slide in like that and then drop in, and then you'll just see that sitting on the surface. So that will just sit on the surface like that. Don't know if you can see that. Let me try this one. So it'll sit on the surface kind of just like that. So all good. Hopefully we'll be back again tomorrow. Update, another morning. It's cold, we've got the blow heater on, so excuse the noise. otherwise I'm going to freeze here. Okay, so yesterday we got this panel all cut out. Not completely happy with it, it's not perfect. This edge here didn't quite go as straight as I'd hoped, but it's not too bad, it's alright. There's a few little bits, but again, I don't have all the professional cutting equipment etc. to make it perfect, so it is what it is. Now, one of the issues we have come up with, one of the things we've noted, is that, don't worry about this, it's not quite fixed at the other end, but again, not a major issue. We can, if I'm worried about it, we'll put some little rubber grommets in there to help that. But one of the issues is there's not enough, the spring tension in this is not enough to lift this up when you pop it open. Try and pop it open, should we say. So it's either now looking for something else, or what I have looked at is getting a little compression spring. Not that I can open this to show you. I'll have to show it to you later. I need a flat blade to dig that out or something. Hang on a sec. Right, so what I'm thinking here is if I can get a spring to sit on this surface here, and either that or just sit around here. It's got to work out, got to get the right, obviously, spring rates. And it's going to be a pretty small spring, but it just needs that little bit to help push this up, because it's fairly hefty, fairly heavy piece of board. Not to me, obviously, but for the spring that's in there, it's just too much to lift it. So we'll have to find something to we'll try that first and see what it looks like, see if it's any good or not. This still needs to be attached down the back here, but until I've got this sorted out, that's not going to happen, because I'll probably put a screw in from this way, in there, either that or it'll be one down through there. We'll just wait and see how that works. I want to also come down in here and fit a little clip in here just to make sure this is being held down at the back, because there's nothing holding this piece down unless I come up with something. I don't want to sort of interfere with this edge here at the moment. There's also the plastic cover that would go on here normally. I might go and get that and have a look at it and see if it's something that could be modified and put back in just to cover up some of this. We'll see how that goes, see what that looks like. If we do get a chance today, I might pull these side panels out of storage wherever they are and just have a look at them. But I think the next thing, we want to put in these little supports that I made here so that we can put that lid in. And then the other thing I want to do is to take these side speakers off, get this mounted properly, get that put down, and then put the speakers back in. One of the things I have ordered actually up some blue lights, and I was thinking of putting them down in here so that you get a blue light coming up round the subwoofer, which would mean taking all of this back out again, because that's not going to turn up for a week. But I can't keep waiting. As I've mentioned at one point, this barn is going to be turned into a house, and that work has now all been signed off and is ready to go. So I'm at a point now where the car needs to start going back together so I can get it out of here and get it out of the way. Not only that, I've got a whole bunch of other stuff lying around in here that I need to clear up and move. So I've only got a very short period of time to do it. So let's crack on, get a few more things done, and yeah, Happy New Year, welcome to 2021. Let's see what we can achieve this year. Won't be a lot of work maybe happening on the Mini specifically itself, unless I can find somewhere else to work on it, but we'll certainly come up with plenty of more footage and content for you. I do have a plan, bit of a secret for the moment, but let's see what happens. I'm hoping, do I give you a teaser? Maybe. So in previous episodes, I think I mentioned it, I have
a complete R53 engine, including supercharger, etc., and harness. Now, it doesn't have clutch, doesn't have a gearbox, which is something we may pick up, but more importantly, the first thing I want to do is I want to go through and dismantle it. We'll probably have a look at the supercharger. We might refresh the supercharger, give it a paint, do a whole bunch of things to it, and if it's in really good condition, we may swap it out for the one in here. Do a number of things, like do little projects like that, which don't require the car to be up on jacks or sitting still for a long period of time. So anyway, hope you had a relatively good New Year's. Now I need to get on and do some work before the gas in that bottle runs out, especially because it's keeping me warm.
Quick update. We've got all of the rear end now. I was working on some lights. Now I'm not going to pick it up, and it's all off anyway. So we're putting some little strip lights in here. They'll run off these micro switches that we've got, so that you pop that up, it'll light up that, obviously, and not a light when it's shut. We'll probably we might put another light in here, I'm not sure. The one up there may be big enough now, it's completely open. But most things are screwed down now. Those wall plates, side plates are in properly. Speakers are all screwed up. It needs a bit of a wipe down. I need to just work on where these joins are either side. I haven't quite sorted that out yet. And then what I want to do is also have something to hold this up, and we'll work out how that works. But we'll for now, again, what this is about, getting this in a position where I can at least drive it around and move around, and not have hundreds of things lying around and rattling around the back. So pretty much in cleanup mode now, and yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Hopefully we'll be back in the weekend, do a little bit more. We'll see how we go, but for now, that's all.